we are looking into adding onto the program.
Bernie, it seemed like, I want to say at the beginning of the launch of this program, you guys were having trouble with eligibility and all that stuff, but it kind of sounds like money's getting out there. What changed?
Money, yeah, definitely money is going out there. It is, I mean, and we do get the phone calls, we still get the complaints or the concerns from the applicants saying it takes a little bit longer than they expected for them to receive the financial assistance. But it is a tedious process because we have to verify a lot of their documents. If it was only for rental, then, of course, that's just one particular service or one particular, we're looking at their lease agreements or their landlord verifications. But of course, if they're also seeking all the other assistance like power, water, we have to reconcile and coordinate with the utility agencies to get all of their arrears amounts as well. So, I mean, it is a lengthy process. There are different phases within the cycles, but we are getting the monies out there. And again, we encourage the community. The program doesn't end in September of next year. Certainly, if they are still finding themselves in situations where that they fall under the 3 criteria, then come in and we can assist them.
Bernie,
go ahead.
Do you anticipate an increase in applications for assistance after the pandemic unemployment aid program ends?
Yeah, that is definitely something that we are anticipating, and that is too why we are also creating the cycle 3 or putting the cycle 3 in place so that we can include those additional services for those folks that we know that who fall under PUA may also be looking into to getting other additional financial services.
Well, Bernie, anything in closing that you need to add?
In the future, we also are working, which is another good news. We also are working in another program, which is called the Homeowners Assistance Fund. So that's something that we are putting the plans together, and that we will also submit to U.S. Treasury. And of course, DOA will be responsible for that as well. And then hopefully we'll get some information out, we'll get that plan approved, and we can roll it out and again, continue to assist the community.
Homeowner Assistance Fund, what type of assistance would this fund, I mean, if you could, just the eligibility, what's the point of it?
Just really, yeah, we are putting, with the plan that we put together, and of course, certainly it still has to be approved. We are looking at the mortgages, and again, also the utilities, which would be power, water, and then also the...
For homeowners, not renters, gotcha.
For homeowners now, because of course rental is for rental, so this particular funding, it's very limited funding though, but it will be for the homeowners, so, which is good news. So hopefully soon we can be hearing something from them and from U.S. Treasury, and then we can get that started.
Well, Bernie, appreciate your time this morning.
You're welcome. Thank you too for having me here.
All right, and when you get more deets on the homeowner assistance fund, when it's ready to be stood up, give us a call and we'll get you on.
Definitely. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.
Appreciate it.
And we're going to continue to
thank you.
Head right back into the Zoom room.
Right back in there.
Right back in there, where we've got Senator Joanne Brown joining us now. Good morning, Senator Brown.
Hi, good morning, Sabrina. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
She's doing all right.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
Can you imagine now that we're getting older? I'll tell you, we look forward to the weekends.
Yes, we do.
The highlight of the week.
So how, can you give us like your take on what's been happening with session?
Well, we're finally getting, we had the administration officials earlier this week, going over their numbers, and we're finally, yesterday afternoon, we were finally able to sit down and start going through the budget bill itself, certainly dealing with the revenue aspect and dealing with some amendments that were put forth to increase the level of the BPT revenue. Mm-hmm. In both cases, one was proposed by Senator Mary Torres to address the increase of salary to the nurses, and Speaker Teresa Terlahi also had hers to substantially increase the BPT with the hope of using the increased amount to speed up the process of paying tax refunds back to our community. Unfortunately, in my case, I had to object for both, even though I certainly support the intent of both of those amendments. I think we recognize the importance, obviously, of the work that our nurses have done in our community. I understand the governor's already put in place through her own authority the pay increases to the nurses. And also, certainly we all want to make sure that we get the tax refunds out to our community, but I think we need to take a much more conservative approach around. Right now, there's a lot of money that has been flowing, and I think it's kind of made some people immune to the realities of what's really happening out there in our community. And as federal funds decrease, and certainly as we'll see in the near future, heading into next month with the end of the whole PUA process and the payments that have been made out to those in our community that, have been unemployed or underemployed as a result of this pandemic. I think the real realities of our finances and our ability, the big question is our own ability to survive on our revenue with, a major significant part of our economy that pretty much, aside from, I'm sure, accommodating, our military personnel and our people or visitors coming through the quarantine process. We're going to have some challenges ahead of us. So I'm not as optimistic as, what some of the administration representatives provided this week with regards to, they feel the money's it's going to be there. And I've only done this. This is like my 7th term in the legislature, and we've been through some good and not so good times. And I just think we need to be a lot more responsible in planning for the future. Because Uncle Sam isn't always going to be there to bail us out. And I don't think we can look at that as a permanent source of funding.